Thanks for watching Queen City News Plus, Order in the Court. I'm Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. Brian is out, but court is still in session. We'll talk about a couple things today. Obviously, there is a lot happening in Minnesota, a number of things that occurred over the last few days. Unrest is probably the easiest way to describe what's happening after the second deadly shooting in the state. But what I can talk about right now is the U.S. District Court judge in Minnesota is requesting and requiring what's called a show cause for Todd Lyons to appear in court for a number of reasons. And so I had an opportunity to clerk for a judge when I was in law school. I got a law degree, but I also have an advanced law degree. So my advanced law degree was 2 years. During that 2 year time frame, I clerked for a judge. And so judges speak through their orders. They may say a number of things in court, but if it's not written down in an order, it really didn't happen. And so with this case, why the judge is asking him and forcing him and requesting him to appear in court is that there was an order for an individual to have a bond hearing. There was an habeas corpus petition. The habeas petition was filed. The judge listened to it, heard it, and said, you have to give this person a bond hearing within 7 days. Well, the 7 days passed. His attorneys filed a complaint and said, hey, Your Honor, they have not complied with your order. Why? The judge wants to know the exact same thing. And the standard is pretty clear. Was my order unambiguous? Did you have an ability to comply? And have you failed to comply? So when Mr. Lyons gets to court in Minnesota, he'll have to be able to tell the judge, hey, I did not have an ability to comply, or your order was unambiguous, it was ambiguous, and I was confused, or I just neglected and didn't want to follow your order. If it's the last one, which I hope that it isn't, the judge has an opportunity to hold him in contempt. Contempt can be a monetary amount. It can be jail time. It can be a number of things. But what I can tell you is nobody wants to be in contempt. Contempt is not punitive. Contempt is something to force you to respond, force you to react. It's often said that when you're held in contempt, you are the holder of the keys. And so you know how you get out of jail? You just comply. I know people often say, well, if you just comply, those things wouldn't happen. But in this scenario right here, if a judge holds you in contempt after the end of a show cause hearing, the way you get that to end is that you comply. So in this scenario, it would be giving this individual a bond hearing, but the judge's original order said if you didn't give him a bond hearing, that he needed to be released within 7 days. And this is in response to what's happening in Minnesota, is that they're getting these individuals, they're taking them in these detention processes without giving them a due process of a bond hearing, and then they're sending them to Texas. The judge says that that's a violation of their constitutional rights of due process, and because it's a violation of due process, you need to be explained to the court why you are not following our orders. The last thing I'll say, and I talk about this a lot, when judges speak through their orders, most of the time they're pretty even keel. This judge says in here that the court has been extremely patient with respondents. Even though respondents decided to send thousands of agents to Minnesota to detain aliens without making any provision for dealing with the hundreds of habeas petitions and other lawsuits that were sure to result. But the court says the court's patience is at an end. And that's why the court is now asking that the acting director of ICE, Todd Lyons, come to court and show cause. Show your hand. Tell me exactly why you failed to listen to my orders. And then I'll have an opportunity to make a decision at that hearing on if I should implement some type of contempt proceeding, specifically some monetary or financial fines. But this is the next progression. You have an administration that is challenging the strength of the executive branch, but they're also trying to see ways to challenge the judicial system. So you can challenge the judicial system in a number of ways. You can listen to a court's order, or you can disregard a court's order and appeal. But you can't, they're doing here, which is disregard a court order and to take no action. This judge is saying, if you didn't like my order, you can appeal it. But because my order is still valid and it hasn't been stayed by some other judge, because there is not any appeal that's pending, my order is still valid and you have to follow it. And so this is a good example. This is one that I would have given my law school students of what happens next. What happens next is either compliance or failure to comply. And we've had this happen a number of times in the past with celebrity individuals and non-celebrity people. It happens on a daily basis. Judge orders you to do something, you fail, There are consequences for your failure to comply. Show cause is the first step. Thanks for watching. I'm Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rose. You've been watching Order in the Court on Queen City News Plus.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.